Here on Oklahoma Gardening, we talk a lot about the use of organic matter. In fact, we visited farms and businesses that put it to heavy use. Sam Forbes at his organic vegetable farm near Oklahoma City relies heavily on compost to keep his beds in ideal shape and keep his vegetables growing tremendously without the heavy aid of chemical pesticides. A couple years ago, we toured a mushroom farm up in Miami, Oklahoma. And there they use chicken manure, a byproduct of the northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas poultry industry. And they mix that with wheat straw, a byproduct of Oklahoma and Kansas wheat fields, and depend on that as their mushroom compost to grow those. Recently, SUNUP's Ron Dahlgren and producer-director Mark Reynolds went out to the Oklahoma Panhandle to get the full story of how manure is being put back into use in production agriculture up there. Let's see what they found.
The problem? What can feedlots do with the tons of manure produced each year? The solution? Let entrepreneurs from the oil industry use their skills to create a business that solves this waste disposal problem.
I believe it was 1988. There was a federal lawsuit filed in Texas County, in the eastern part of Texas County, against a feedlot over there for groundwater pollution. And it just kind of like the light came on for us after having done our research and our background gathering. All of a sudden we discovered the problem in our backyard right here at home. Not only the problem, but the solution as well.
That solution was to take manure from the feedlots and produce a compost product called UMAX. It's a guaranteed analysis fertilizer registered in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas.
In composting the manure, what we have done is extended the benefits of it. For instance, compost is, in comparison, 1.5 tons of compost will easily compare to, say, 15 tons or 10 tons of raw manure. Which extends the range that we can deliver the manure to, and it also cuts down on the amount of volume that the farmer has to have to attain the results that he's seeking.
The processing is done at the feedlot. Currently, there are 2 operations, one in Liberal, Kansas, and the other at the Hitch Feed Yard in Guyman, with another operation to be added soon.
Put it in windrows, we add moisture to it, we add oxygen to it, we build an environment that's conducive to the rapid proliferation of aerobic bacteria. It's a high heat process that kills the weed seeds that are contained in it and the pathogenic bacteria that are contained there as well. We maintain that environment for a period of 4 to 6 weeks, and it becomes a finished product.
UMAX is sold to farmers within a 40-mile radius. Much beyond that, and transportation costs make it cost prohibitive. And it's applied just like any other dry fertilizer. From the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service, I'm Ron Dahlgren.
You know, that story reminds me of what my sister told me the day I got married. She said, love is just like manure. It's not any good unless you spread it around. Well, if you're planning to do some composting in your backyard, remember the basic rules. You need a good mix of carbon materials like dried leaves, dried grass clippings, wood chips, and green materials such as green grass clippings and leaves. It's also a good idea to put a few shovels full of manure in there for a nitrogen source. If you don't have that, use alfalfa pellets or alfalfa-based kitty litter. Also, put in a few shovels full of soil. That's where your beneficial bacteria come from to help start the breakdown process. Turn it every 2 weeks and keep it moist. And it should cook up just right for you to make some good compost for use later this season in the garden.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.